Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I put something up on YouTube last. Actually, it was before the pandemic hit, and since the pandemic, obviously we haven't been able to travel very much, and the only trips I made were close to home, probably to Ottawa a couple of times, and once I think to the other side of the river. But then once 2021 November came along, there was a break in the number of cases in Ontario, and there was this small window where we could go a little bit further than Ottawa and the home area. So my wife Harsha and I decided to take a quick trip to Toronto. Now after a long time, we actually caught a plane from Ottawa to Toronto. That would be a video clip for another day. But then once we were in Toronto, we decided to take the GO train, the Government of Ontario Transit train, to Oshawa, which is on the east side of Toronto. So the video clip that you're about to see is about 22 minutes long, and it shows you some scenes from this trip from from Toronto to Oshawa. Now, the starting point of the trip obviously was Toronto's Union Station. These are a couple of pictures from the interior of the station. Now, of course, before we get on the train, we had to buy our tickets. Now, because it was a weekend, Go Transit had a special deal where one person or two people, in this case Harsha and myself, we could buy online tickets for $10 a day, which would allow us to go from point to point anywhere on the network and also get on and off the train any number of times within a 24-hour period. So what you see is the ticket that is shown on the phone. It has to be an internet-connected phone, and it tells you how many hours and minutes and seconds actually the ticket is valid for. So in this particular case, you're seeing the ticket with the validity for 21 hours, 17 minutes and 39 seconds more. For those rail enthusiasts out there, the locomotive that is hauling the train today is an MP40PH-3C diesel electric. It has 4,000 horsepower and also something called a head-end power unit that basically is a separate engine, a Caterpillar engine developing 1,000 horsepower in this case, that powers the passenger cars. At the other end of the train, there is this non-powered control unit, basically the same sort of thing that you see on S-class locomotives in Sri Lanka, where one end is powered and the other end is not. So, let's get on the train, shall we?
We have 5 minutes until departure on platform 4 for your 1105 Lakeshore East, all stops to Oshawa.
This is what the interior of the passenger cars looks like. They're basically two level passenger cars, and that is the door between two adjacent passenger cars so that you can go from one to the other. And you can see how clean everything is actually. It's extremely well maintained and very well kept. And if you look carefully between the two seats, you can see plastic dividers. Those are new from the COVID era. And of course the windows are all sealed shut because everything is climate controlled inside. That is the bell for departure. And there is Harsha.
Final call for the doors on platform
and
4.
myself, all masked up and ready to depart.
Good afternoon, welcome on board your 1105 train. This is your customer service ambassador speaking to you from the accessibility coach 2537. This train is headed to Oshawa, making all station stops, and upon arrival at Oshawa will be out of service. On behalf of Go Transit and the operating crew, we'd like to thank you for choosing Go, and Danforth will be our first stop.
thing that you notice is how quiet everything is inside the passenger cars. Really, the most amount of noise that you hear is from the climate control system. There's very, very little track noise or engine noise or clashing of wheels and buffers or anything like that. This is what the outside of Union Station looks like in Toronto. Many tracks that are coming in and out of the station. Those are mainly for Via Rail trains and the GO Transit trains. And in the background, you can see the number of construction projects. Many of those are condominiums that have been already built or being constructed. And there's an expressway in the background, or in the foreground actually, in front of the buildings, between the tracks and the buildings. And you can see the traffic, Saturday morning traffic is very light. We are picking up speed now. Heading into the suburbs of Toronto. The stop coming up is Scarborough.
Now arriving in Scarborough. Stand clear of the doors. Doors are now closing. Eglinton is our next stop.
After a while, we catch the first glimpse of Lake Ontario.
Now arriving at Rochelle. Please stand clear of the doors. Doors are now closing. Pickering is our next stop.
As you see, there's not much sound when the train stops. No brakes squealing or anything like that. And certainly not much sound when the train picks up speed from a standstill. You can barely hear the locomotive starting to accelerate and pick up speed. Keep looking towards the left-hand side of your screen on the horizon. You'll be able to catch a glimpse of the nuclear station at Pickering.
clear the doors. Doors are closing. Ajax is our next stop.
In case you were wondering how fast the train is going, the traffic that you see is on Highway 401 doing about 100 to 120 kilometers an hour, and the train is keeping up.
Now arriving at Whitby.
That is a Canadian National freight train in the background. And so we start our approach into Oshawa railway station.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now arriving at Oshawa. This is our final stop. Please take these next few moments to look around and make sure you gather all your personal belongings before exiting the train. And on behalf of Go Trains and the operating crew, we'd like to thank you for riding with us and hope you enjoy your weekend.